Hello, everyone. Once again, we bring you another in a series of our weekly webcast. Today, brought to you by Disney. We are the champions for business and community here in Osceola County. I'm John Newstreet, the president and CEO of the Kissimmee Osceola County Chamber of Commerce. Today, we talk with community leaders, and I'm most delighted with today's guest. He'll be a very pivotal figure in our community when he takes the oath of office in early January. So, to learn more about him, his priorities, and how we can all work together, we'll bring on screen now Sheriff-Elect Marco Lopez, who's the new sheriff of Osceola County. Sheriff-Elect Lopez, thank you so much for joining us. A hearty congratulations on your election, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on, John. I appreciate the invitation. It's an honor to be elected by the people as the sheriff of this county. We moved here to Florida from Illinois in 1979. I've seen the growth. It's amazing how our county just continues to thrive, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the keeping our community safe. And it's just exciting. I work really hard, and I'm going to continue to work as hard once we take office January 5th.
Yes, sir. So you said you moved here in '79 from Illinois, and tomorrow will be December, and the first snowfall for folks, even in Atlanta, I know, is expecting snow. So probably a good time to remember that you're in Florida and glad to be here, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you had a big campaign. We know a lot. Is there some things maybe that weren't covered in the campaign, or things that you really want us to remember about you as you enter into this leadership role in the county?
Well, I'm just a humble human being. There's no difference from me and every citizen in this county. I'm originally from Illinois. My parents came here years ago from Puerto Rico. I grew up right here in Central Florida. Went to high school right here in Central Florida. I joined the military. I had a little over about 22 years in the military. I started in the sheriff's office about 2003 until 2019 when I decided to run for sheriff. I really have seen the growth, and I understand the needs of our diverse community, and I do understand the importance of every aspect. Our agricultural, our industrial, and our tourist industry is what really keeps everybody employed and this economy going. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm really looking forward to keeping all this together.
Well, I can tell the audience that usually, been doing these weekly webinars since April and the onset of the pandemic. And we've gotten this technology pretty well figured out, but I had a little snafu today, and so I can say that Sheriff-Elect Lopez is very patient, and we appreciate that as we got it all set up for today. So and that's a strong trait for both a leader in law enforcement and, of course, a leadership trait. So thank you for your patience and persistence in being with us this morning. So as you enter into office January 5th, there'll be a little celebration, and so I'm sure we'll be able to communicate that out to the community and support you in that. But then the real work begins, and it's a big job. So you've got some issues related to education and the law enforcement presence inside our schools. And so I don't know if you can talk to that, but I know in particular the chamber has a keen interest in the sheriff's presence on the west end of the county in the tourism sector. And so I do hope you can talk to us a little about your support and plan to engage the tourism sector with the agency out on the west side.
Yeah, well, definitely. Our county in general, the whole county is important to us, and but I do realize the importance of our tourist area. I mean, like I said earlier, it's what keeps this economy moving. And with this COVID crisis, I know it's been hard on many people and many families, but with a bad economy, crime tends to rise. So we definitely want to put a little bit more of our resources in the west side of the county. I would love to expand to what we call Sector 1 by Margaritaville, add a sergeant and about 4 or 5 deputies. You there? Did I lose you?
Yep, I got you there. Thank you.
And so it's, we need to really beef up our police presence on that side of the county, just to keep it safer and make sure our tourists are coming here and they're feeling safe, and hopefully we get through this and it's just going to boom for everybody.
There was plans for a substation, the old Publix there in Century City, and I think there was great progress. Do you know where that stands, and is that still going to be moving forward, or is that on hold now?
From what I heard was that the building has been purchased for the sheriff's office, but I believe it's going to be a multi-purpose building with other county offices in there. So we're going to be sharing it with the county. I don't know if they're in the planning stage of how they're going to separate it out, but I do believe it is still moving forward. I haven't heard anything different. When they're going to have it ready, I don't know, but I know that it is. I heard that the green light was given to get that project moving. So things change on a daily basis because of our economy. So once we're in office January 5th, we'll be able to get a little more information on that, because we definitely want to be a part of the planning and how we can use that facility to help benefit our officers and accommodate them so they can work efficiently there.
So you do have this transitional period, and you've got to build out a team. How's that coming along? Are you making great progress there? Is there still work to be done?
Yes, we're slowly interviewing people and talking to people. Legal counsel, deputies, majors, sergeants, lieutenants, civilian employees. We're putting the feelers out, and a lot of people are giving us a lot of good positive feedback, and a lot of people are showing interest. It's just pretty much completing some interviews this month, and then January 5th, once we get busy, start bringing them on board within the first few weeks of our takeover.
So you are already busy, and it probably won't let up. So
no, yeah,
so
we're extremely busy. Yeah.
That brings me to the big question. Sheriff Hansel was the first sheriff here when I came into the chamber role, and then Sheriff Gibson, and now Sheriff Lopez. We've had great partnerships. We've supported each other, and so wanted to just have a chat about, is that still desired? What does that look like? And whether it be the chamber or other citizenry, how might we best support you in the sheriff's office?
It's important when the sheriff establishes good working relationships with, like the chamber, the community, businesses, and we have to continue those relationships. There is no need for us to stop working well together. It's just the way we should do it to function more efficiently, and everybody just get along and help each other out. We all can piggyback off each other. And I think it's important that we continue these relationships. I would love to see more community involvement in what we do. Sometimes we offer programs or any type of, like community events, but we have a lack of participation from the public. And, even with the chamber, you guys can help us facilitate and coordinate some of those. And maybe with your contacts and our contacts, we get a larger involvement of people in order to help everybody understand, why this all has to work as one. What's the importance of the sheriff's department working with our community leaders and keeping our areas safe.
We did, to that effect, we had a Back the Blue campaign for Law Enforcement Officer of the Month. So we worked with the Kissimmee Police Department and the Osceola County Sheriff's Office to recognize folks. It started monthly. We went to quarterly just to kind of maintain, especially with COVID. And so that program is in place, again, to show our connection and partnership. So just want to make you aware that we have, again, been very supportive of our law enforcement community and continue, and we are sure that will continue. So
awesome. I like that. Yeah, we definitely got to keep working together. I think it's important. There's a lot of things we can do. Community engagement's important from all parties, but we definitely got to get our citizens involved. And try to help out as much as we can. I think it's really important.
Sure. So I know you've got some other priorities and some pressures. What might those look like at this time? What's the biggest issue facing you as you come into office here?
Well, there's quite a few. We're like I said, we can't take baby steps because this is a critical. It's a 24-hour operation. We have to get in there first day right off the bat, working hard, boots on the ground, implementing the right command staff. Continue our recruiting process. We're short about 60 deputies, and that's a challenge. We definitely got to beef up our west side and our south side of the county with sergeants and patrolmen because we've been short for a while, and if we don't work on those right away, it's really the crime can increase. And also, I have to look over the budget, the inventory, everything. It's got to be itemized, and we have to look at every single expenditure because we actually have to assume responsibility for all that. And it's important, we can't sign off on something if we're not 100%. It is what it is. It's a big responsibility we're assuming. And we have a team that's already working on that now to give us a little bit of a jump when we get in there. But, like I said, I think our biggest challenges are going to be just getting comfortable with each other and making sure we start really employing more law enforcement officers and civilians and dispatch communications. We're short 15. We really need to get our recruitment department up to speed so we can start really putting good professional people out there to start providing that customer service that we all need.
Is that issue as far as recruitment the same across the area, or is Osceola County at a disadvantage because of pay or whatnot? Can you speak to that?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the pay. A lot of it has to do with morale. I'm getting a mixed feedback from people. Some people, they use this as a training ground and they move on. We got to make this a little more attractive to make people and our employees want to stay long term. I'm going to develop a green to gold program for retention. If you can plan out every employee's future up to the 15-year mark, it's a little bit more attractive with pay incentives, educational incentives. I think that they might want to stay because they're going to say, hey, we're comfortable here. We don't need to go anywhere else, unless something changes. But there's a lot of things we could do to make this better and make it more attractive for retention, because we do have a very high turnover right now of employees, and they're leaving to the surrounding counties.
Well, I focused on tourism earlier, but I did allude to the education side. I know that's tremendous pressure for the Osceola County to have a sworn officer in each of the schools. How's your approach to that? Are we committed to that? Is there an alternative at place? Curious.
Well, right now, since there's so many other things, I definitely got to get my campaign promises out there done within hopefully the first 100 days. We're going to work on that first. But like right now, our school security is it's state mandated what they've got right now. We haven't seen any major issues in there. We're definitely going to overlook that and see if there's any areas that you always can use improvement. A lot of that we have to work through the school board because they actually finance and budget a lot of our deputies to be in the school. So we kind of, we provide them, but we go play a little bit by their rules too. So we all got to work hand in hand and get together with them to coordinate and see how we can all help improve safety. And actually, I'd love to see the school resource officers more involved in anti-bullying type programs, issuing instead of arresting juveniles. How about we issue them juvenile citations? Give these kids an opportunity so it doesn't become a revolving door. Back when I was a kid, you had a fist fight. You went to the office, you got a paddling, or you got suspended, and it was over. Now, everything's about the liability. You get a kid has a fist fight. There's no harm, no foul. They got to file charges with the state attorneys. Now that this child gets a battery charge for the rest of his life because it follows you. And we're going to see if those can be areas of improvement where we can help minimize that and help these kids get on the right track. There's a lot of work to do, but like I said, we're going to get everybody involved a little bit in everything until we can actually get our hand on it and start pushing some of these things forward.
And to that effect, that you mentioned it earlier in this conversation, but I know we talked about a community advisory group. So can you talk about that, how that will come together and the work they might do? And is it open to anybody, or is this a select group?
Yes, definitely. I came up with a concept called CARES, Community Advisory Review Board of Enforcement Standards, with a little budget side note there. So when everybody says that they feel that the sheriff's office is not transparent enough, we're going to compose it with different districts in the county. We're going to have board members, maybe a couple per district, but not just, like like say Celebration can have one, and then District 1 because they're so big. And then we can have one, Poinciana can have one, plus Pleasant Hill area because that's another sector. It's so big. We just got to figure out how we're going to break it down, and we need a commitment, everybody year to year or every 2 years. We'd love to have pastors, from the community also involved because most of the people that go to the churches, they're involved. We want to show them how we operate, why we operate, what we do, why we do. Show them our policy and procedures. Explain to them how we discipline, why we discipline, how we handle citizens' complaints, how we're spending the tax dollar. It's more of a transparency effect to start, and this way our commissioners can listen to, where are the needs in the community, and when we say, hey, we need more money because they're complaining about this, we can justify it because now the citizens are not only expressing their needs through us, but we can also extend that to the commissioner so they can get a better feel of what the community is needing and wants. So it's going to be good. We have nothing. I was surprised that so many surrounding agencies in America have a community advisory review board, and we've never even implemented one, which I thought was, is outdated. But we're going to put these things in motion. I think it's important now that police reform is everybody screaming for that in America, and we really need to have the public more involved in what we do every day so they can have a better understanding of why we operate.
Well, everything you've shared this conversation sounds good to me. And of course, anything I and the chamber can back up our law enforcement, we're here for you. So
Appreciate
make that public commitment. We've crossed the 15-minute mark, in fact, the 16-minute mark. So I'll offer to you for some final closing thoughts, and then I'll wrap it up.
I just want to thank you and everyone that helped elect me to the office. A lot of people say I'm the first Hispanic sheriff. I didn't, no one wakes up in the morning saying, hey, I'm going to go make history. I just kind of just have a passion for serving. And I really have a investment in this community. I have a son who's very young, and I want to see him finish his high school here and potentially his college at UCF. I have 2 other UCF graduates. So, I just want to thank everyone that has helped me with this opportunity, and hopefully they will be more involved with us as we're going to be involved with them in the chamber. And anything you need, please feel free to reach out so we can all work together and like I say, accomplish the mission and make sure this is a great place for not just our residents, but our tourists and everybody that wants to come to Osceola County.
Thank you, Sheriff-elect Lopez. Tremendous to enter public service in this regard, and I'm sure it'll come with additional sacrifice that you've already exhibited. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for taking on this added leadership role. Thanks for being a partner and work with us in the future. You mentioned mission, our mission statement again, champions for business and community. And so in that regard, we want to be very supportive of the law enforcement community. I want to thank Disney for once again sponsoring today's community conversation with Community Leader. And we'll be back next week with our next timely topic. But thank you, Sheriff-elect Lopez. Congratulations and best wishes to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.